kind of like a little break. So my name is Dana Baxter. I am an engineer in a team called Core Services Engineering and Operations. Has anybody heard of Core Services Engineering and Operations, CSEO? You have? We got a prize over here, Bart. By the way, if you answer questions, you get a prize. So be sure to participate. I spent my own money on these prizes. I just want you to know Microsoft. Well, Microsoft, I guess, technically did pay for them since they pay me, but you know how it goes. So CSEO is what we're known as, and we used to be called MSIT. So everybody's probably heard of MSIT, right? Yeah, that's a pretty common one. They've been trying to change our name. I think that there was a little bit of like history that was associated with the name, so they've been moving on, trying to change it. The reason why I'm here today is because I led a project in my team to move from SCOM to Azure Monitor, and we also did that through a DevOps transformation. So there's this particular booth is not run by my team, by CSEO. This is a product group booth, and they asked me to come talk about this particular topic because they were finding with adoption that the tools were not really the hard part, that there's lots of documentation out there. You can watch a video, you can read white papers, you can do all this stuff, but the actual part that they were seeing that was a blocker was getting the actual adoption throughout the organization. So they wanted me to come from the internal IT team and just share with you our experience about how we did that. So this is our scenario. We are a team that does manageability, which includes inventory, monitoring, software deployment, and security patching. So those were our primary focuses, and the idea was to decentralize as much as that as we could. So we have two kind of items that we're looking at. One was to no longer have a centralized IT team do all the work. Part of that was to do cost savings. So traditionally, we had a big team, you know, tier 1 through tier 4. We had vendor support. We had tickets that were being escalated directly to those vendor teams, which is pretty expensive. You also don't have the highest quality of work because you have that team who's being a buffer between the actual problems and the engineering teams who are building the applications. So we wanted to see some improvements there. And then also we wanted to do the actual technical transition from using SCOM to Azure Monitor. And the new features that were coming through from Azure enabled us to actually execute on that. So this is just kind of an outline of what we did. We decided to decentralize our infrastructure monitoring. We thought the best way to do that was through toolkits and documentation. And then by the time we all got done with that, we would decom our SCOM infrastructure. So what do I mean by decentralization? I kind of talked about that a moment ago, but if you'll see over here on your left, the centralized, so we had SCOM running that was monitoring applications, and those would go to our manageability platforms team. So that 1 through 4 sort of layer where we had vendors and then we had FTEs. And then finally, these 4 little people down here represent the business group. So, you know, when you get to the end of the problem, if you can't resolve it or you need more help from the person who actually built the application, then it would get escalated. The DevOps-driven model is where we now have application insights, log analytics. The problems go directly to the engineer who built the application. So rather than the traditional way of, okay, so you get an alert every day, it's the same alert every day, your tier 1 representative goes and tries to reproduce the problem, they can't, so they close it, they charge you 20 bucks. You know, and then that happens again the next day and the next day and the next day, and that problem never really gets resolved because it's such a low level, low impact alert, it's never making it to the actual engineer. So this kind of helps with that particular problem where you're not getting like a lot of repetitive alerts coming through because your engineering teams are addressing that. The other problem can be is if you get an alert that's an outage or a really high priority, also your tier 1 team doesn't necessarily know that. I mean, they can figure it out if they're getting enough escalation saying that a particular service is down, but if you get that high pri alert that comes in and it goes right to the engineer who's developing the application, they'll know faster that there's a problem and they can fix it. And then this just creates a good cycle where you're saying the alerts go to the engineer, they're fixing the problem. They don't want to take calls at, you know, on the weekend, on Christmas Day at 11 o'clock at night, whatever's going on, because they're the DRI now instead of these people who don't actually build the application. So we're still there, you know, providing consulting type of services, guidelines, guidance, guardrails is another word that we use quite a bit. So we still have a role in all that, but we are not the ones doing the actual day-to-day monitoring. So I just kind of wanted to share with you our transformation timeline. That from start to finish, from the time we made the decision to going all the way to where we decommed the infrastructure was about 6 or 7 months. But the first thing we did was, before 2018, we were doing piloting, we were developing alerts, we were thinking about what our vision and strategy was. Because we did have that message from our leadership team to do this work. So we were investing resources and trying to think it through. Azure Monitor was kind of new at the time, so we had a lot of piloting and ramping up to do ourselves. We had things that we had to learn as well. So in January of 2018, that's when we decided to adopt Azure Monitor. We realized that there was enough parity between Azure Monitor and SCOM that we could, might be rough, but we could actually make it and do a pretty good job. I should do a prize giveaway. So is anybody here exclusively using Azure Monitor? We got one in the back there. This is Bart. He's actually a software engineering manager for our engineering team. He works with like Kubernetes and Terraform, but today he's been demoted to prize runner. So thanks, Bart. Is there anyone here who is only using SCOM? Right up here. I would like to know, how many alerts do you currently have in your SCOM infrastructure setup?
Oh, no. Don't.
It should be embarrassing. It is below the belt. It's below the line. You've been taking leadership classes.
Probably 200 a day.
200 a day is how many alerts you get? How many alerts?
It's stateful, so they get closed when there's issues and they're resolved.
How many?
About 10 a day.
10 a day. Okay. How many servers are you monitoring?
4,000.
4,000. Okay. Anybody beat 4,000? Anybody monitoring more than 4,000 servers? Oh, right here. How many servers are you monitoring? How many?
55,000.
55,000. How many monitoring tools do you use?
SCOM plugs into ServiceNow through Omnibus.
Okay. All right. So you actually, you win-win. He should probably get 2 prizes, because when we did this transformation, we were at 30,000. So, and I always feel like that's impressive, but he just made me look bad, so whatever, move on. All right, so then in February, we decided, this is when we had to start assessing our current environment. So we looked at all the alerts that we had configured in SCOM. We started to measure them against our ticketing system to see like the counts and severity, so that we could make a decision on which ones we would actually move. We had SCOM around for 10 or 15 years, so we had a lot of stuff that just wasn't valid anymore. So we just wanted to see, like, okay, how do we figure out which alerts that we have configured do we actually want to migrate? We don't want to waste our time on stuff that's not useful anymore. And then also the communication plan was really important. So I told you that I was here to talk to you about tools and process, and the communication plan, I had to start early. So essentially I wanted to shut down my SCOM infrastructure by the end of June, so at least 3 or 4 months ahead of time, I had to start communicating it with the actual engineers who were doing the work. You can see up in the, developing the strategy and vision and begin socializing the vision in January. That's where I was meeting with like leadership teams and stuff. Then I needed to start working on how was I going to work with the individual teams to start them getting used to this whole concept. And then March through June, we started doing the piloting with early adopters. And that's when we started doing all of our training. So we did have a lot of people who had never used Azure Monitor before. Does anybody have a situation in here, for prize, that where you had to move an application from a dev team because maybe that application was sunsetting, but it got moved to like a team of PMs who actually didn't have any development skills? Back there, Bart. So we have those situations too. So if I say, it never happens. So when I say we have people on our team who don't have any monitoring experience, that's totally true, because maybe it's just a group of PMs, somebody who either hadn't done any monitoring before, maybe wasn't that technical, and now I'm saying you have to be responsible for the monitoring. That's a big ask. And so it's really important to get your leadership, team behind you, because if you're going to go ask these engineering teams or PM teams or whoever to take on the responsibility of doing monitoring, you better make sure you're giving them some training, otherwise it's just going to fall apart. And then finally in July is when we disabled our ticketing from SCOM. I have a typo, if anybody wants to notice that. I got a 0 at the end of infrastructure. This is when we disabled the ticketing system for SCOM. So I want to go to the next one. This is the one I'm most excited about. So if anybody in here has an MBA, which I don't, I went to community college, but I've heard that people with MBAs have heard quite a bit about diffusion of innovation theory. Does anybody know about diffusion of innovation? No MBAs in here? Really? Okay, well, you should look up this term because I feel like this changed my life. I do a lot of projects where I'm rolling stuff out throughout an organization, and I have this kind of method that I'm doing, the teams that I'm working with and kind of how I socialize and grow the program and how I get full adoption. Like, how do you land this with thousands of people? It can be hard. So the first, I'm going to walk through them. There's 5. And basically, if you look up in diffusion of innovation, it's going to look like a wave like this. Because the first group of people is very small, like around 2%, and then it's going to go up where you get more adoption, and then it goes back down to the end. So as you're looking at these categories, just think about them kind of in that wave shape. So the innovators, these are the people who are on my immediate team. And these might even be people like you who are the ones who have all the passion for the technology. You're the one, these are the people who are like trying stuff out. They're private previews. They're reading release bulletins. They're using user voice directly with the product group. They're super interested in the technology. Is there anybody in here who would say that they're in this category, that they're the innovator in their team? Bart, we got prizes over here. I lost my, here we are. Vanna. So these are the people who really inspire you. You go out in your organization and you see them, they're being creative and they're learning and they're really excited about stuff, and they can inspire you to create a vision and lead a project and think like, oh my gosh, these guys are really onto something. There's something here we can land. Then you have early adopters. So for me, these people are other teams. So my specific team is manageability, where we're, like I said, inventory, software distribution, security patching, and monitoring. And then we have other teams like, for instance, I have like a sister team next to me. They're the people who manage all the compute hosts. So we have today, I don't know how many we had at the time, but today we have about 800 hosts. And so those guys are being monitored also. And so I'm like, how do I get these guys who are we have the same skip level manager. I want them to use it too. They're also pretty excited about it. This stuff is important to them as well. And they're the ones who really help you create the documentation because they're trying it too. They might not be the primary people who are super passionate and finding all the bugs, but they're definitely the ones who are helping you get excited and want to use it. The early majority, I would say, these are people outside of my immediate organization. So for us, we had this, there's this guy, his name is Lionel. He works in our sales and marketing team, and he just went crazy with this stuff at this point. And the thing that I wanted to have happen, he really was a good example, and even internally when we socialized this, I always talk about his project. Because we did a simple solution where we just said, we're going to hand off infrastructure monitoring from us to you. And then he took it and then just made it that much better. They started innovating. They did all this automation. They got very creative. And by the way, because I'm with CSEO, we do have a showcase site, and he's done some presentations that are published up on our site. I have the links at the end where you can go to that and you can read up on it or watch some videos about some of the work that he did. But I think that was really the best thing, was getting these people to really innovate on top of it. They weren't just passionate about that individual feature. They were just like, okay, yay, Azure Monitor. But then they were doing all the integration with the other pieces of Azure along with it. And then the late majority, this is just kind of everybody else. They're like, yeah, I have to do it. My manager says I have to do it. The other teams are doing it. I've given them a deadline. They have to start adopting. They're not necessarily resistant to it for any particular reason, but they do want to see things like case studies and success stories from other teams before they actually start adopting it themselves. Sometimes they do need the motivation of leadership support. So again, it's a time when you need the leadership to come with you and say, yes, we are saying that we want you to go through this process, because they are going to be dedicating resources to it and interfering with their other rollouts and maybe their sprint planning, that kind of thing. So if you're asking someone to interrupt their plans, you better have good support and good reasons, case studies, success stories, things that'll help motivate them. And then finally, the laggers. Now, a lot of times people talk negatively about the laggers. These are the very last people. And sometimes I hear people specifically say just how frustrating these people are, the ones who don't want to adopt anything. But I try to look at them in a different way. So they might have really good reasons. They might have a high-risk environment. They might have third-party dependencies. Or they might just be the skeptical and fearful of change. So the thing, though, the top item, I really just wanted to highlight how these people help me. So it just happened to me the other day. We're trying to roll out this, it's a different project, but it's a private preview project, and we're trying to roll it out, and this guy comes up, and he's all upset because it's a private preview, and I'm telling people I want him to put it on our production machines. And like, who's gonna take the fall for that if something horrible goes wrong and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's not really about that. It's about us taking the risk for Microsoft before it gets rolled out to the customer. But the thing that he really helped me with was understand, like, okay, yeah, that keeps it in the forefront of my mind. I have my reasons. I have the reasons why I'm asking him to do it. But at the same time, it's making me remember that there are risks. And so sometimes the people who are in this holdout category can kind of help you refocus and make sure you have your story straight, that you're saying the right things, and that you have your documentation, your FAQs in place, that you're really making an effort to be prepared. Because if you go to these people, these really hard cases, you want to make sure that you have a good story, and they can kind of bring you back around. So even if you're back in the late majority category, though, if those people go, well, maybe you have a little bit of fear in there too, you're on top of that question. So the summarized learnings, top one I think is the most important, is mapping out your people. I like to think of it as building an army. This is where you kind of walk through all those categories of your teammates and those folks to figure out who are going to be your allies, where are you going to have your problem points, and what do you need to do to get those people prepared. Make sure you have leadership support. Again, I can't stress that enough. If you don't have leadership support, then it's going to be really hard to get those people to dedicate resources. Establish timeline with milestones. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, if you have kids and you tell your kids go clean your room, and then it's later that day and did you clean your room? No, and well, you didn't tell me when, So, you got to say, I clean your room before 2 o'clock or you can't go to the party tonight or whatever. So you got to do that same thing. And that tools are really not the hard part. The tools, anybody can go online. You can go to Azure Docs. You can watch videos, Channel 9. There's lots of technical information out there, but you really have to get that figured out. How are you going to talk to your team, your people, and get them to adopt? I should do one more question for a prize, and I'm trying to think of something. How many people came to my presentation yesterday? Did anybody come to my presentation yesterday? No? How about is there one? Oh, here, we got a prize. Sorry if it was like a lot of the same content, and I'm wearing the same jacket, so. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of my message that I wanted to tell you about. This top URL here, this DevOps stories, has other stories besides mine. So I did one, the 1ES team that we have did one. They're sort of a modernization team. Open source team did one, and Xbox did one. So there's all little videos and some white papers, and you can learn just more about DevOps transformation. Again, these videos are not about the technology. These are about the transformation stories that these people went through. And then the alert toolkit, this is something that we built to hand out to our own team to make it easier for them to adopt Azure Monitor. It's just a pre-configured set of alerts that they can deploy and build out their alert structure, and you can edit that and add more. If you want to evaluate this session, that would be nice. We have a booth over in 27 if you want to talk to other people from CSEO to hear about how they do their work every day. Thanks.